This is Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned from professional wrestling. Coming to you from the fabulous Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome, I'm your host, Benjamin Burrows.
I am one voice that stands alone. I am one choice to man the throne. Stand guard and take shots, give it all I got. All I got is this microphone.
Well, hello and welcome to Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned from professional wrestling. I'm your host, Benjamin Burrows, and it is a great day to be out selling your products and selling your services, for you are the great American thunder on which this nation rolls, because nothing happens until something is sold, until you get out there and you sell it. Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned from professional wrestling. We are on episode number 61. And I'd like to thank the Sons of Thunder and Sunny Thunder for allowing us to bring you this podcast week after week from the fabulous Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome. I know there are many wrestling Thunderdomes now in professional wrestling, but the Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome is the original and the fabulous and the home of professional wrestling champions. I also want to thank Aldi Jenkins and Gunnar Haskins, my research team, the team that keeps me straight as best that they can. I want to thank BMW Productions for the beats in the background, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to download the podcast and listen to the podcast. I am Benjamin Burrows, and this is episode number 61. We are in the middle of a series entitled Succeeding in Sales During Hard Times with Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling. This is part 8. And this has been an exciting series, and I want to tell you, I've mentioned this in previous episodes. We have had such a tremendous amount of feedback from this series of podcasts that we're actually creating a second installment of Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned from professional wrestling. The working title right now is Grunt to Groan, succeeding in sales during hard times with lessons learned from professional wrestling. Now, that's a working title. It might change, but I think you get the drift on that. And it should be out, we're hoping, in the next couple weeks. We're working very hard on getting this book put together for you. And much like this podcast, it's going to be designed to help you as a sales professional find ways to be successful during hard times. And this COVID pandemic, this coronavirus, has really impacted all of our lives. And it's impacted us in so many crazy ways. And it doesn't look like it's going away, which is, to me, one of the more frightening things about the COVID-19 is that it's just lingering. And because it is lingering and because it is what it is, there has never been a more important time for us as sales professionals to help our clients. And that's what succeeding in sales during hard times with lessons learned from professional wrestling is all about. I hope and I pray that there is just something that we say or that we do that inspires you to go out and help your clients even more than what you already have. And I know I talk with 100 sales professionals a week, and I know you're out there and you're trying to help your clients as best you can. I encourage you, continue to do that. Continue to make that mark. Continue to provide solutions and answers to the issues and problems that your clients have. And it's an honor that during all of this, that you would take time to download the podcast and that you would take time to listen to the podcast. And I am truly humbled by that. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email me at greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. That's greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. I answer each and every email, and I'd be happy and honored to hear from you. So we're going to jump right into this episode 61, part 8, of this series, Succeeding in Sales During Hard Times with Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling. Now, in episode 59, we reviewed positioning your tradition, on how during hard times it is important and it is imperative that you position the tradition of good and honest service and reliable and proven products to your clients. And we've been using WrestleMania 36 as the example to follow in tradition. And the women's NXT Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair was our example. The WWE putting on WrestleMania 36 despite being in the middle of the COVID pandemic, and one of their cornerstone matches was a good old traditional slobber knocker, a grunt to groan, push and pull match. In episode 60, we discussed how to display your difference, how you have to show the client that you're different than your competition. And we used from WrestleMania 36 another cornerstone match, the Firefly Funhouse, featuring John Cena and The Fiend, to show just how different you can be in helping your clients and separating yourself from your competition. Now, in this episode, we are going to discuss how to use creativity as a selling tool during hard times. And we're going to, again, go right back to a cornerstone match of WrestleMania 36, the triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, featuring Kofi Kingston, Jimmy Uso, and John Morrison. Now, WhatCulture.com ranked this match the second best of WrestleMania, one of the four cornerstone matches, the second best of the entire card, which had 18 matches. BleacherReport.com raved, take three of the most creative performers on the SmackDown roster, throw in a bunch of ladders and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and you have a recipe for a show stealer. That is exactly what Kofi Kingston, Jimmy Uso, and John Morrison provided on night one of this year's WrestleMania 36. Take three of the WWE's most creative performers. Mix that with some ladders and some tag team championship belts, and you have what BleacherReport.com calls a show stealer. Now, we've learned to position our tradition, to display our difference. Our lesson from this match is how to be creative. How can we be more creative than our competition? Now, this comes from a web article that was posted on securityinfowatch.com. It's entitled Creative Sales Strategies to Weather the COVID-19 Shutdown. Now, the article was great. The article was on point. I suggest look it up, securityinfowatch.com, Creative Sales Strategies to Weather the COVID-19 Shutdown. But the comments to me from the readers was as profound as the article. So this is a comment from ASAWA.FMS. It is a little trickerer to keep up. You know, when I rehearsed this, I couldn't get it either. And now Audie Jenkins and Gunnar Haskins and the Sons of Thunder and Dave the Ray, our producer. By the way, Dave, thanks for producing us, are over there laughing at me. So here's the comment. It's a little trickier to keep up with sales in such adverse times, I have tried to put together all possible ways to overcome this situation. Now, this was in the comments section. It would not be wise to surrender before this unprecedented trouble named COVID-19. However, giving up has never been a choice for a successful sales team. With such a unique problem right in front of us, one need to find out equally creative solutions to surmount this situation. We must agree that COVID-19 has come with unseen challenges and forced us to be more creative to continue our pursuits. You see, in order for us to be successful and to succeed during hard times, we have to become creative. We have to become creative in how we position our products. We have to become creative in how we communicate to our clients. We have to become creative in how we approach this pandemic. You've heard me say in episodes past that same old is not going to work right now. One of the creative tools that I have used is leveraging my email communications and trying to keep my email communications very pointed and very detailed and very short. So we have to think outside of the box in order to be successful. We have to look for potential new clients in ways that we may have never had to do in the past. Now, some of the creative ideas that I've employed in my sales strategy has been to follow a lot of the breaking news and to try and get ahead of some of the breaking news. So when I'm communicating with my clients, I'm trying to stay one step ahead, trying to have answers to the issues and the problems that they have not been confronted with as of yet. To date, that has been successful. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do the research. It takes a lot of time to try and stay ahead of all of this. That's just a creative measure that I take. Instead of being reactive, I've been proactive, and creatively, it has been, again, very successful for me. Now, from the article, How to Grow Your Sales and Leads During the Coronavirus Pandemic, posted on justcreative.com, here are some points. It starts the article by saying up to 25% of small businesses in the U.S. may fail because of the coronavirus. Now, you could say that same thing about sales professionals, that up to 25% of sales professionals in the U.S. may fail because of the coronavirus. But you as a sales professional and your business does not have to be among them. As long as you change your approach to how you market to your clients right now. How creative can you get? From this article, How to Grow Your Sales and Leads During the Coronavirus Pandemic. They state in this article, first rule of the pandemic, don't panic. You know, when the WWE was confronted with having to cancel WrestleMania 36 because of these hard times, they didn't panic. The Brain Trust got together and thought of a very unique and creative way to make WrestleMania 36 more creative and more different, more innovative, yet standing on their tradition than any other WrestleMania in history. So rule number one here, don't panic. You know your products. You know your company. You know your clients. Rule number 2 of being successful during this pandemic, rethink your marketing. You know, we are road warriors. And you've heard me say this before. I am a sales professional who has to go out each and every day and prospect for new clients, present new product, and close business. And I was on the road 5 days a week. Love being on the road. I love being a road warrior. But I had to transition from road warrior to office freak during this COVID-19 pandemic. And I mean that respectfully. I had to rethink how I was marketing to my clients. I had to rethink how I was approaching my clients. First rule, don't panic. Second rule, rethink your marketing. Now, what does that mean? When we're being creative, what does this mean? It's good to talk about, but what does it mean? Well, number 1, adjust your messaging. This is from the article, How to Grow Your Sales and Leads During the Coronavirus Pandemic. You can look it up on justcreative.com. Number 1, adjust your messaging. In the past few months, our lifestyle has changed completely, and the way you address your customers will need to change too. I find my communications with my customers are now more intimate than they have ever been. And they have been longer in length than they have ever been. When the pandemic first pushed us into lockdown, my clients would talk to me for an hour at a time. And now we're seeing a second wave of this pandemic, and my clients want to talk to me now for longer lengths of time. And that means I have to adjust my messaging. Sometimes it is no message at all. Sometimes it's just stopping, breathing, and listening to what my client is saying. Number 2, you have to rethink your social media strategy. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. According to a constantly updated study by Rival IQ, brands have been posting less frequently on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So before COVID, they were posting 4 times a day. Today, they're posting 3 times a week. But at this same time, engagement by Facebook users is going through the roof. So here you have brands slowing their messaging on Facebook while usage of Facebook is increasing. Just knowing that fact should make us stop and rethink our social media strategy. More people are on social media today than ever before. More of our clients, more of your clients, more of my clients are on social media now than ever before. And they have the time to monitor social media. So it's only logical that we rethink our social media strategy. Another point from the article, How to Grow Your Sales and Leads During the Coronavirus Pandemic. Design better emails. Your customers and potential leads are being bombarded by marketing emails right now. There are so many that the majority go straight into the trash bin. If you don't want your emails to end up in the trash folder, you have to make them stand out. First and foremost, don't send out bulk emails during this pandemic. Do not send out bulk emails during hard times. You're just asking for those emails to be put into the trash. Individualize every email you send out. And reference a point that you had in a previous conversation with your clients. If they're at home having to help with virtual learning, it is not unprofessional. And it is not out of the question for you to reference, how is that going? Understand everything that you are experiencing during these hard times, your client is as well. Everything that you're going through, every emotion that you have, your clients are experiencing this as well. So design better emails. Another point from the article, join online events. Online conferences and industry fairs are all canceled or postponed. But the online event space is booming, and that's your chance to shine. So don't be bashful and don't be shy. Get involved on some online events. Maybe you should host an online event. And one other point, our final point here. Join the fight against COVID-19. Now, look, this is something you don't take out to your clients and you don't talk about. This is something that is between you and I. This is something very personal as sales professional to sales professional. Every sales professional, no matter how big your territory or how small, how large your sales or not, can make an impact. Join the fight against COVID-19. Get involved locally in food banks, clothing banks. Brainstorm with the team that you're on and come up with initiatives that won't be too costly, but can really help someone in need. Join the fight in COVID-19. You know, you can position your products if they will truly fight COVID-19. And just a few final words from the article. How to grow your sales and leads during the coronavirus pandemic. And understand this. The COVID-19 pandemic is not a marketing opportunity. It is not a sales opportunity. It is a human and economic tragedy on a scale never seen before. So do not try and exploit it. As a true sales professional, your job is to help your clients. Your job is to help keep them safe and to help keep their building safe and to help keep their staff safe and to help keep their guests safe. That is our job. It is not to exploit this tragedy. It is not to take advantage of this tragedy. It is to stand up and say to our clients, I am here to help you. And that's going to do it for Grunt to Groan, Sales Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling. And don't forget, you can buy our book, Grunt to Groan, Sales Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling, at all the .coms. And I'm sorry about the frogginess in my throat. I'm battling some sinuses this week with the changing of the seasons and the changing of the weather. So please look past how froggy everything sounds. And again, the staff is laughing at me. Hey, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to download the podcast and listen to the podcast. And remember, you are the great American thunder on which this nation rolls, because nothing happens until something is sold, until you get out there and you sell it. So quit listening to me. Get out there. Sell something.
I am one voice that stands alone. I am one choice to man the throne. Stand guard and take give it all I got. All I got is this microphone.